glasses. I'm live. There's nobody in here. Okay. Hmm. Yes, I am live, and I've started off very boring. Like, where's everybody at? Let me see. It's funny how it takes a while for people to start popping in. It's like, where were you 2 seconds ago? Sorry, I'm not on the screen where I see myself. I'm on a different screen. Hold on really quick. All right. Oh, there's some folks. What's going on, people? Sorry for the glare. In order for me to read y'all's, we'll go stream on Twitch then. Are you streaming right now? Are you playing games and such and that kind of thing? What is up, people? How many of you have done? Yeah, that one. Fright Fest so far. Right. So in my video, I was hanging out with Matthew and. Oh wait, you were sad Carpetbagger didn't have me. No, he's not gonna. I mean, he has asked me to, and had me come along for a video, but the ones that he needs to do is Fright Fest at Over Texas and the State Fair. He needs to have me because I'm the guy. I know what's doing. Not really, but I'm definitely. Every time when I talk to him, I mentioned how I can't believe he took Jeff. Jeff Creates, he's awesome. He really is, but he's not a native Texan. He doesn't know anything about State Fair, Texas. But how y'all doing? So anyway, yeah, I was hanging out with Matthew and from Oklahoma and his mother. He messaged me and said that he went. They went to the Fright Fest at Frontier City, and it is. He said the haunts are amazing. That's a good question. Roy Meyer is saying, asking if I'm going to Fright Fest Frontier City. I wasn't planning on it because I just don't know if I'm going to be able to even do my typical normal thing of this time of year of going down to San Antonio and doing that, and which I do almost every year. I haven't been to Frontier City in a couple of years, but after Matthew messaging and saying, "Holy mackerel, our haunts are so good up here," I'm like, I don't know. I might need to try to make that drive, You're going to the East Texas State Fair? What? Right. Well, I always go to the State Fair, Texas. I'm not trying to crap on the East Texas State Fair, but I'm gonna always go to the real Texas State Fair. Sorry, I understand there's like a South Texas one as well. So here's the thing: I didn't even know there was an East Texas one until we moved over here in East Texas, and then I'm driving around delivering and dropping people off, picking them up, and delivering food and stuff. And I'm like, what? There's an East Texas fairgrounds? So I'm like, okay, I guess I got to go check that out. So if you go there on the first day, you're going to see me. Everett, yeah, there we go. I was like, because I know another G Man, and I thought, okay, so all right, the G Man, the one that I know is like, oh gosh, I think he's creeping up on 100,000 subscribers or something. So yeah, the neighbor, yeah. So I'm sure I'll see you that day. So yes, I didn't even know it existed until this year. Just looking at the grounds though, I drove through it the other day and it looks pretty small. So I'm thinking, how much, how much time do I need to cover this thing? It looks like it's pretty small. So unlike the Texas State Fair in Dallas, which is the next weekend, isn't it? Yeah. So my plan is that day. And any of you that are here right now, if you have access to Dallas, that morning of the 22nd, hello, New Zealand, how are you? I just said hello to a whole country. I will be going to see the Big Tex going vertical. I usually say, let's go see Big Tex's erection, but that sounds terrible, doesn't it? Makes for a good thumbnail or a title, I suppose. But yeah, so he goes up to the minute a week before the state fair opens. So 29th, 10 a.m. is when the state fair opens, 29th September. The week before, this coming Friday to 22nd, 10 o'clock is when he goes up. So be there before 10 o'clock, to just see how the morning goes and stuff, because there's going to be, if you want to get on TV, go out there for that. You'll likely get interviewed or something if you're just standing around. To make yourself available. And come around, hey, can we interview for this thing? There's loads of different TV and radio and stuff out there. So anyway, that's something I like to do every year. Be a little different this year now that I'm this far away from it. So yeah, I saw his new boots. Donna just said that he's got new boots on and some Lucchese's. I didn't really get a really good look at the art on it, because that's what it's about. It's about the art. They usually do a contest every so often to you submit your ideas for, or you actually do the art, and then if they choose you, then they put the art on the boots. So yeah, that's always a good one. Yeah, I just wish they would scale the boots down. They're way too big, so it makes them look like the old Big Tex boots were smaller. Of course, they wouldn't be able to fit as much art on it, but it seems to be what they're going for. His boots are so big it looks like they go up to his knees, so it looks like his legs are too short, like Hank Hill's daddy or something. Anyway, yeah, I wish they would scale his boots down to a normal size. Right, so who's gone to Fright Fest already? I've already went to the first night, of course. You would have seen the video if you did see it, and also had a video that I could only show Patreons just because I wasn't allowed to broadcast it, and that was the employee thing the night before. Was it? Okay. Was that Sosa Man 218? I understood that it would probably be pretty bad today, being the first Saturday. Okay. Yeah, so yesterday we were, of course, the first day, we were expecting it to be nuts, but it wasn't, there wasn't that many people at all, as you saw in the video. Lines were fairly short or whatever, and not that I was writing anything, but even into the haunts, there was no crazy long lines and stuff. I mean, we just walk up and it's like, are these even open, sometimes, and there's no line. So it was pretty nice. So then I was thinking about maybe going back tonight to see some stuff that I missed last night. But wow, I dodged a bullet. Apparently it was pretty packed. You got through the flash pass bit because nobody was paying attention. You went to Six Flags 3 weeks ago and there was nobody? Yeah, well, it's a little different now with Fright Fest, so. Did they pump up the scare at night? Well, I mean, being first night, I don't know how it was tonight, but last night, they were still kind of working out kinks. I mean, if you saw the video that I posted, one of the haunts didn't even open until 13 minutes before the place closed. They finally got it open. And then there was so few haunt scare actors in there that it was like, oh man, come on, y'all need to turn it up. Okay. So yeah, they have definitely ramped up the idea, the plans for this year by having at least one more haunt than I've ever heard of. Usually the most I've heard of, I think last year was 6. Now there's 7, and there is the same amount of scare zones, 7. One of them is really small. Well, they're all, none of them are massive scare zones necessarily, but the Mexico one is just a small little thing with a couple of actors. But yeah, I didn't do a lot of just sitting, and I wanted to show as much as I could. Didn't get to see much to do with shows. Uh, this isn't a basketball thing, but I'm gonna have a certain opinion because I'm an older guy. So Jordan. Anyway, you saw me yesterday. Did you say hey? A lot of folks did come up and say hi, man. I was just like spoiled with all the people that came up and said hello yesterday. It was really nice. Or some that even would just go by and go and just yell savage or something like that. So um, it was really, really nice. There was, and the funny thing was, as soon as I walked into the thing, I don't know how much, I can't remember now how much that I got on camera, but when I first walked in, just scanned in, boom, it was just like Patreon supporter, Patreon supporter, Patreon supporter. So it's pretty cool. Jay, what's doing? Roy, you're asking me, have I heard anything about Spelunker Cave being open towards the end of the month? What is it? What do you mean? Because it's open now. It's been open for. There we go. I just wrote it recently. The fire alarms went off. Yeah, Overtex is looking pretty good. Just on paper anyway, they're still probably having some issues with staffing and stuff, because even whenever we were going into one of the haunts, there was a creeper girl that does kind of the person that talks to you and tells you what not to do on your way in, or kind of thing. And she yelled to one of the people that was kind of like security watching the line, going, "Hey, come in here. We need as much help as we can get." And yeah, it's like, I think the actors that they have available are getting spread thin, since there's so many houses in scare zone. That's a lot to cover. Um, yeah, so they're just being spread thin. It seems like there's not a whole lot of, or there wasn't yesterday anyway, a whole lot of actors in the scare zones. So it's the beginning. They're still working out some stuff. Said I saw Marshall, yes, briefly yesterday. He's apparently moving on, not moving on, but moving up. He's at the corporate level now at Six Flags. He's now going around the country and getting all the official photos and stuff. That's pretty awesome. Roy, if you're talking about the Spelunkers, how it has been closed in the past, and this is, I hate to even talk about it, being that this is the time of year when it happens, or every time it has happened, whenever there's been a crazy storming and flooding, it's usually around Fright Fest time. That's hold on, really, let me get caught up here. So no, I mean, it's not scheduled to close. I mean, it has had to close because of damage due to flooding in the past. So no, let's fingers crossed and light some incense and say a prayer and hope that it doesn't happen again. Happy 5445. Not sure if you told me this. You said, not sure if I told you this earlier, but my girlfriend saw you at the Roy City Walmart last year on Christmas Eve. She was walking out and you were walking in. I'm sure I don't remember anybody saying anything to me. And you asked her, you didn't say hi to her? Yeah, you should have. She should have done. That would have been pretty cool. It rarely happens outside of Six Flags, but it has, and it's pretty cool when it does. And she would have made my bloody day. Yeah, keep those fingers crossed. But yeah, it's running. I saw it last night. Of course, I didn't go on it because I was all about the haunts and stuff, all the creep show stuff, the scare zones and haunts. So I wasn't doing any rides. But even though I did do Runaway Mine Train, just to see if there was anything in the along the ride or in the hotel, almost like casino. We go to casino so much. The word casino follows hotel. Hotels and casinos. But no, inside the hotel saloon thing of Runaway Mine Train, and they did put some stuff in there. The oil derrick model. Oh, that's funny. It's just up there. It's just. Oh, let me pick this up. It's just up there. I can bring it closer if you like, but I can't reach it. It's way up there. I got to get a chair to get up there to get it. Yeah, well, if you went to the state fair last year, you could have seen it up close in person because it was on display. There it is. I don't know how to. I can't zoom on this thing. It's like a webcam or something. Yeah, sliders. Yeah. So there. I don't know exactly how many there are, but whenever I saw the employee thing, there were 11 of them doing the slide or die. I'm like 11 sliders. Wow, that's awesome. And the only two that I recognize are, well, there's a few others that I recognize, but I don't know them as well because I don't talk to them. But the only two that I really talk to and know by name are Charity and Colton. So, all right. Oh, you can actually. This was down here before, but now it's got moved up. Okay, I'll just kind of prop this up, give me a lot of headroom, but then you can see. And then my SPI is just down the way from it, right there. That's not going to stay there, but you can see the SPI right. Oh, right. Ding. I still haven't done anything with that SPI, other than fixing his neck. It fell down and broke the head right off, and then I had to. Putting glue on it wasn't enough, so I had to shove like basically skewers. Some of the same materials that I used to build that, I had to put skewers down its neck and into its head to hold it together, and then glue. Okay, Roy, you've done it to me again. You said this year's Fright Fest looks amazing. You're counting down the days. What days are you counting down until it's over? Because it's started. There's no days to count anymore. Are you talking? Unless your park is a different one? I mean, because some people do contact me and from different parks. They're like, ours hasn't started yet, or whatever it is. What are my thoughts? Oh, do you go? I'm like, what are you? So I don't know when you're going, but when you do, have a lot of fun, and hopefully it'll go off fine with no problems. I did see somebody getting escorted out last night. It wasn't violent or anything, but I was like, oh, somebody got in trouble. On 30th, okay. That's the same weekend that the State Fair of Texas starts, unless you're talking about October. My thoughts on El Rio Lento. When I first heard it, along with everybody else, I'm like, oh no, they're now Flume One can't be special anymore because it will be gone. But it's not really going to be gone. I mean, you can still look and go, there's most of it. They're probably going to have to alter it at some point to some way to connect the two, because even though I haven't heard officially that's what they're doing, connecting the two, when they say it's going to be one of the longest log flumes in the world, it makes sense that they're going to connect one and two somehow. So I'm okay with it. I mean, I've come to terms with it anyway. I'm like, at least they're not ripping it down for a new ride completely, but some people are going to say it's not going to be right. That it's not, that the original log flume one won't exist anymore. Well, maybe. I mean, I suppose, but it's still there. Yeah. So yeah, I saw a lot of spray bits on the ground. I'm like, ooh, and even away from that area. I'm like, I don't know what the heck is going on. Okay, what was that? Allow me to check my phone. Okay. Okay. Anyway. Yeah. Because I mean, I get people talking about Six Flags, and they go, they'll be like, which one or something. I'm like, Over Texas, that is the original one. So a lot of people don't even know that Over Texas is the first one. No others existed before it. And then because the first log flume in the world was there, and then the whole thing with Runaway Mine Train being the first minecart style So, coasters, all right. And what else? And the SPI thing, that's pretty unique. There's no other SPI situation. People outside of Texas are like, what the heck's a SPI? Mhm. Heck, even until they built this newer cave, even the younger generation that grew up with Yosemite Sam, Gold River Adventure, like, what the heck's a SPI? So. Hmm. Hmm. Hold on, Jay. I'm just seeing your comment. You're hoping to make me proud for this year for Halloween. You might now, says Mr. Kite, make the new ice cream haunt at SeaWorld San Antonio as your first ever haunt and try to figure out what just haunt I should do first. Oh, what do you mean might? Get in there. Dude, let me tell you something about the whole haunt thing. Because even I was, there was a time when I didn't like them. I just didn't like the idea of losing control, let somebody else have control over me by making me react in a certain way or whatever it is. But then after a while, I just learned to just have a laugh with it. It's just they're not going to kill you. But here's the thing about the haunt thing. I try to tell Cheese and she won't listen. But you don't know what's in there. Well, to be fair, whenever I was growing up, there weren't any videos. You didn't get to see what was in there. So you, at the very least, get to see what's in there because of, especially SeaWorld haunts, they let you take cameras in. So you'll see loads of videos. But normally, you don't know what's in there. So the idea of what's in there is usually way less scary than what's actually in there. What's actually in there is less scary than the idea, because in your mind, you're like, oh my God, people are coming out and in tears and crapping on themselves. My God, what's in there? But then you get in there, you're like, some people are crying and crapping on themselves over that. So, what are my predictions? I don't do predictions because I just don't. I don't speculate necessarily. The only thing that I'll do is say what I would like to see. Like, man, we sure need and insert something in that blank. And usually, for Over Texas, we need something major. We need, for me personally, the Aquaman thing is pretty awesome because it's the only one of its kind on this continent for now. They will start popping up. But all right, Donetta, have a good night. But we need a major coaster. And Fiesta Texas keeps getting everything. They just raise their hand and go, hey, Six Flags, can we have a, yes, you may, little Mr. Fiesta Texas, you can have exactly what you want. And then Over Texas goes, what about me? And they're like, shut up in the back of the class. You get nothing. All right, we'll give you something. We'll give you his little thing that goes around in circles or something. You know what I mean? It's so annoying. The mine train, the biggest drop or the biggest loop ride. I think even Shockwave was like a big deal because it was about it having the two consecutive loops was a big thing for a long time. And I think that ride still, because of the loops, it still pulls like the hardest G's of most coasters on the planet, I think, still. I'm not sure exactly where this list is, but it's still pretty solid. Is Shockwave. That is still a contender after all these years, man. It's pretty nice. If they ever talk about taking that out, we need to ride it. The first double loop. There we go. I like it. Yeah, we'll see with Richard. He's from what I can tell, he's at least more like Ron was than we liked him. Of course, he comes out and says, hey, and all that kind of thing. And the guy before him, I never saw So yeah, it was pretty cool. I didn't put it on camera, but when I when I went to the Oktoberfest, and I saw park president there, Richard, and then I was like, I come up and introduce myself. He goes, "Yes, I know." He's like, like the videos, that kind of thing. So Corey Ledoux says, "Me and the wife want to go check it out, but it's 3 hours from Nacogdoches. Definitely recommend Terror Trails in Yentis out by Mineola, if that's not too far." No, it's not too far from me. I'm in Lindale now, so I am now in East Texas. Look at that. So Terror Trails. Let me pull up a tab and put that in there. Oh. Well, the thing is, I normally don't run around just going to things because this time of year I struggle with time to get things in that I want to go to. Okay, I'll check that out later. So I'm kind of like, if somebody wants to invite me out and let me vlog the thing or whatever and give me perks and let me in for free kind of thing. I mean, I'm not saying that anybody needs to do that, but those are the ones that are I'm definitely going to gravitate toward first. So oh, I've lost my train of thought. First, yes. Okay, Screams Park, where they in Waxahachie, where they in springtime they do the Scarborough Fair, the Renaissance Fair for Halloween time. It is Screams Park, and they've had me out for the past 2 or 3 years, and they've contacted me again. So that lady Helene Thompson, she is the I don't know actually what her role is there, but she of course covers PR and that kind of thing, marketing and all. So she is cool with vloggers, anything that can help them out. So, and she just goes, "Here's everything for free," kind of thing. So yeah, because somebody was telling me, I think it was actually Brandon the Ghost was telling me about something that's out here in East Texas. I want to say it's kind of southeast of us, even more. I can't remember the town, but then I was like, "Oh, you got connections? Can you like?" He's like, "No, I have no affiliation with it at all. I'm just telling you that it's there." I'm like, "Oh, well, yeah, I'm likely not going to go to it." So, I mean, if I were allowed to, if I were given like the key to the place, like Screams does for me, there are places I would love to do. Particularly, where is it even now? I don't even know, but the Thrillvania. It's been in Terrell and was in Forney, and it's in one now and used to be in the other. I can't forget, but anyway, Verdun. There we go. That right there, Verdun. Do you ever go to Verdun Manor? I was just talking about that when it was good. I did a long time ago. I only went once. It was back in, gosh, this was 90s, I guess. And yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, Yesterland Farm, isn't it called? Little kids. Yeah, I've seen it because I passed it a million times. Okay. I was thinking of going to that just to have something to vlog out here, and I need to do some vlogs out this way so I can get some East Texas eyes on my channel and maybe get some more subscribers, kind of thing, because that's taking me forever to get to 10,000. And so like maybe thinking of doing the zoo in Tyler and that kind of thing. But when I see that Yesterland Farm, I'm like, oh, I need to go in there. And I look and there's coasters there. Even they're kiddie coasters, but those are credits, Do it for the credit. But the place looks neat. It looks cool. I mean, it looks like a lot of fun for a children. If I was still a children, I'd be all about it. Like, Mama, take me to Yesterland Farm. I don't care it costs money. I probably wouldn't talk that way if I was a kid. So. But yes, I went to Verdun in just the one time, and I would like I say, I would love to go back to it. I thought about maybe like reaching out to him or something and going, "Hey, would you allow me to do this thing?" Coaster POVs. Where are you getting coaster POVs, Jay? Huh? Because of course I used to do with the camera glasses whenever it was kind of okay, but SeaWorld, of course. Yep, there's a good place to do it. And whenever you go into the haunts, you can record those as well. And you should, because we need to see your reactions when you yourself. And SeaWorld, they do, oh man, heck yeah. So you strap it to yourself. Heck yeah. So you do like a wrist strap. I've got the kind of the glove where it's on the palm instead of the wrist. But you can totally go into the haunts with that. And we need your reaction. Because I'm telling you, since you are somebody who's right, well, you won't be able to wear the hat one on, but yeah, I get it. I get that as well. I'm just saying on coasters you wouldn't wear the hat, but through the haunts you could. Actually, through the haunts, I know you don't have the 360, but we got Instant 360 where it does 360 video. That'd be the best. You put it out and you can catch the creeps and you can get your reaction as well. Because with you being like, you know, really truly afraid of the things, it would be a real good, because somebody like me, I'm gonna go through making jokes. I'm gonna just hey, whatever it is, making jokes about whenever they're like, why are you in here? I'm like, well, I paid to come in here. Or they're like, why won't you leave or something? I'm trying. Then nobody gives I mean, that's just kind of normal for somebody like me. But with you being really truly afraid, man, somebody would that those videos could go somewhere for real. I think so. It's like Jacob Carpetbagger whenever he freaks out. Two real geeks, what's doing? How's Fright Fest going? It's first. Last night was the first night. Tonight being the second night, I didn't go tonight. I was still recovering from yesterday. Um, well, you would get more Savage 360 videos if I would go down to San Antonio and go through the haunts, but I don't know if I'm going to make it this year. With us living out here, and it's just, I mean, life has just changed a little bit. I've been struggling to make a buck out here, and it's tough. It is tough. So yeah, it's just a little bit tougher to get out. Yeah, I was wrecked after last night. I mean, my foot, I had a pain on a muscle I didn't even know I had in my foot. Like, what? Oh, I didn't know there's a muscle there, but it is there and it hurts. So Renee decided to change the name of the dang farm as well. Instead of yesterday or whatever, yesterland, it's yesteryear. Oh, I would love the 360 the scare zones, but they're not going to let you do that at Six Flags. Six Flags, man. You're working Universal? I haven't. I've seen some of y'all stuff every once in a while, but I'm just like, okay, they're still grinding, and then I just go and do my thing, kind of deal. Um, I don't know, Jay. If you're truly afraid of them, you might try to crack some jokes, but you might just wee wee on yourself. No, they're not that scary. You're not gonna wee wee on yourself. I joke. Well, I didn't know you worked at Universal, man. That's pretty cool. So yeah, with me, it's like doing a different on about 3 different apps out here, and it's not easy. But every once in a while, I'll go ahead and just go into Dallas. But it's just the deadheading out there and having to come back home. So, oh, look at that. Okay, cool deal. Oh man, yeah, I'm still in pain from yesterday. I woke up with a thumping headache. I think that was from probably getting dehydrated, and then just muscle aches and just overall feel like crap. Like I said, I wanted to go back tonight to catch the stuff that I missed last night, but I'm like, nope, it's gonna be another week. Nope, I can't go straight back. No, man. But yeah, I guess overall it's hard to make a buck everywhere. But once I get into Dallas, man, it just pops. There's just such a big market that as soon as you turn it on, boom. Out here, man, I can turn these apps on and I can sit here all day long because I've done it on accident. I've left them on, and then I'll get the notification that says we gotta, you've been on too long. We gotta shut you down for, you gotta have your time to rest or whatever. And I'm like, oh crap, it's still on. I didn't even get anything. Hell Valley, yeah, okay. Oh, probably hear the TV. The wife's watching Tube. Oh man, I'm still feeling it. Yikes. So I don't know. Did y'all catch my favorite thing that I was amazed to see at the Fright Fest, and they've never done it before, and it's whoever's idea that was. Kudos to them. That's 2 thumbs up, by the way. In the Crazy Horse Saloon, where it's meant to be, they were preparing it to be the VIP lounge, but because it's Fright Fest, it's the vampire bar, so you can go there and get drinks. And it was funny because I was the first one, not an employee, to see it. I was the first, patron to get to see it, because we saw in the video, as I was walking, unless you didn't watch the video, walking